good writing day feels like I've gotten a couple of really good sentences. Conversation would be really awesome, and that I've taken the story a little bit further and I know what I'm going to do the next day. That's a really good day.
And so the bad day feels like, what is a bad writing day?
A bad writing day is what I went through for several months, and I'm still not sure I'm out of it, where I rewrite chapter 1 over and over and over and over, and I still don't know what I'm doing. It's the same thing. I started with all the sisters, and then I start with Skye's point of view, and all of a sudden Rosalind's back in there, and then I get panicky and I think, oh, maybe I'll just tell it all from Battie's point of view because she's 4 and it'll simplify things. And so that's a bad writing day. Well, I write in my wonderful studio that's yellow and has a little nook about it from there to there, and as long as that, with a slope ceiling that's all full of books off to one side. And mostly I work late at night. I think all day. If I'm a really good work day would be me spending the whole day alone, just hanging out with the dog and gardening if it's the right time of year, and not talking to anybody. And then after dinner maybe, or even after Law and Order or Battlestar Galactica. I have to put in a plug for Battlestar Galactica, of sitting down, you know, even at 11 at night and writing for a couple of hours, and then sleeping till 11:30 the next morning and then starting over again.
So you can go to sleep right after writing?
It depends. If I'm pretty tired, I can, but sometimes something will get me excited. But it actually works out, because when I get stuck, the best way to get out of being stuck is going to sleep. So I'll set myself a problem and just go to sleep on it. I'm in the middle.
Are you?
Yeah, I have to know what I'm shooting for, what the ending, what the emotional resolution is going to be. And then, and I have to know what characters are going to be in the book. And then scenes start to come to me. I hear them talk, I see them, and so I write down some of those scenes. And that'll give me ideas for linking. And it's more of a kind of like this, go through the book, and then go through the book, and then go through the book.
So you do many, many drafts and just finding it and finding it and finding it.
Yeah, but I don't like do a draft and then do a draft and then do a draft. Yeah, no, I can't, because it is because of the 4 stories, the 4 sisters. It's just so, I might do work where follow one sister all the way through the book and then go back. I think I just realized that I'd set myself a hard task, which is that every book is going to be the story of the whole family, and within each book I switch back and forth between the points of view, among the points of views of the sister. So I have to make a decision, first of all, what the story is going to be, then what the sub-stories are going to be, then how each sister is going to react to each part of the story, and then I have to decide which sister is going to tell each part of the story. So I can have, for example, in the second book, a time when Rosalind's very upset, and I might write that chapter 3 times from Rosalind's point of view, and end up that the whole thing ends up being one paragraph of Battie reacting to Rosalind's getting upset. And it's a complicated tapestry. And who reports, who has a scene with Aunt Claire to find out what she thinks, who interacts with the Antha. It took me, I was working on the second book for probably a year before I really understood how Skye would react to it all. Because I'll start with very broad strokes, Skye losing her temper. We can't just do that, it's very boring. So that was, it was a much more subtle thing. And then all of a sudden there's a point at which it feels like music. It's like ding, and then I know I've got it. My philosophy is that if you're going to finish a book, you're going to finish it. If you're not going to finish it, it doesn't matter what you want to do. It's that, you know, I've known so many people who've made these wonderful books that get to the point where there's all this potential, And then they still need another, at least one, maybe two really tough editing drafts. And that's where people stop. And it isn't a moral failing. It's, if somebody said once, if you can do anything else, do it. And I don't know who that was, they're brilliant, so I'm stealing somebody else. But the ones who really just finish the books are ones that writing is just about the only thing they can do.